From boring to stylish on a budget, stick around because I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite home decor secrets that are also wallet friendly. As many of you know, I recently moved to a new home. We have a lot of areas that we want to renovate or redo at some point in the next like 3 to 6 years. So it's long enough out that I want to spruce up these spaces and make them fun and stylish to match my decor, but it's short enough that I don't want to spend a ton of money on these little makeovers because I do know at some point we're going to be changing it up. Whether you are in a place where you just don't want to spend a lot of money on your home decor, you're just looking for cheaper alternatives, maybe it's a rental space, whatever, I just thought that I would share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks that I use for decorating on a budget. So let's first just start with some tips on how to recreate higher end looks. If you have found a chair you really love or a rug you really like, but the price tag is just not there for you, I have 2 tips that I use when I'm trying to find cheaper alternatives. The first one is dupecom. Dupecom allows you to copy and paste the URL of a specific item into their site, and then it'll help to search the internet for cheaper alternatives. So I'll show you this example here is our Barrett sofa. I get asked pretty much in every video where it's ever shown where it came from. So I'm just pasting it into dupe.com and you can see here that it is spitting out a ton of cheaper alternatives that I could shop instead. Another option is Amazon. You can actually search Amazon by photos. I don't know if you know you can do this, but you can also use it for literally anything. If you see a dress that you like or some shoes you're trying to find an alternative to, you screenshot that picture and then you're gonna upload it into Amazon using the Amazon search button. Using AI, it will find Amazon versions of that product. I think this is really great for like accessories, things in your home you don't want to spend a ton of money on. So things like maybe rugs or throw pillows, tabletop decor, that kind of stuff that can be really expensive at some of the higher end stores and never really feel like they're worth that price tag. All right, now let's move into some specific hacks. We are going to start with window treatments and some ways that I upgrade my window treatments on a budget. Upgrading window treatments can be a really small thing to just make a space look so much more finished and so much more like cozy and lived in. To me, good window treatments is like the mascara on the face of a room. But listen, window treatments can be expensive, very expensive, especially if you're having them custom installed, and especially when you consider like how many windows you have in your house and you start adding it up for all the windows in your house, it gets really crazy. So I like to kind of just tackle one room at a time so that it's not crazy. I can sort of like slowly upgrade the window treatments in my house. And by going a DIY route, you can save a ton of money. It can be a little intimidating at first to do your own window treatments. I totally get it. But I find that there's just so many good options nowadays that allow you to get custom sized window treatments that you can DIY install. And they're so much cheaper than the alternatives that if you're willing to take a little time for installation, it's going to save you a ton of money. I got these amazing Roman shades from Amazon. They came in like literally every size. They fit like a glove. They were actually super easy to install, and I think they make a huge upgrade from those basic boring blinds. Now, if you really want to get the nice high-end look with your window treatments, I find layering window treatments is usually the best way to go. So you're looking for some sort of nice blind and then a layered curtain or something like that on top. When I hang curtains, I always suggest hanging more floor to ceiling. This really helps to elongate the room. It makes the space look bigger. It elevates the window and it just looks a lot more high-end. So just swapping from a more window length curtain to a floor to ceiling curtain can really make all of the difference, and it doesn't really cost any more money. Quick break to tell you about the sponsor for today's video, which is Tello Mobile. Tello Mobile offers premium phone services with reasonable prices because they believe that you deserve to keep more of your hard-earned money. With Tello Mobile, you are going to get the same 4G and 5G LTE service that you currently have on your current plan, but their plans range from $5 to $25 a month. You also don't need to pay in advance to lock in this price. They offer flexibility. You can upgrade and downgrade at any point. You can also mix and match minutes with data to make a plan that works for you. Tello is perfect for the entire family. You can add up to 10 lines per account and customize each line for every member's specific needs. There's a reason that Tello has such amazing reviews. If you want to check it out for yourself, there is a link in my description box where you can learn more about trying Tello hello for yourself. Okay, let's move on to talk about lighting. If window treatments are the mascara, good lighting is like the jewelry. In general, we're gonna talk about 3 basic kinds of lighting that you might have in your house. You have ambient lighting. This is just the primary source of lighting in your home, and its goal is just overall illumination. So like your overhead lights. Task or working lighting, this is a concentrated lighting on a specific like table or area, and it is for a specific task such as cooking or reading or working at a desk. And then finally you have decorative or accent lighting, and this is basically just decorative in purpose. Accent lighting either accents something such as artwork, and decorative lighting, the purpose really is just to sort of look pretty in the space. The goal is to add a mixture of these kinds of lightings in your home. So for most of us, ambient lighting comes standard with our home, so we're looking to add in maybe some task or accent lighting. Task lighting might be under the counter lights. Our new kitchen didn't have any under the counter lights, so I bought these super simple ones that are easy to install. Again, because down the road we'll probably renovate this kitchen, I didn't want to do anything permanent, so I love that this required no electrician. You could either stick them to the top or you could screw them in and then they just plug in. I love how this not only just offers some extra working light on my countertops, but I also love that in the evenings I can turn the lights, like the overhead ambient lights, off and still have some light in the space. And you're able to create more like of a mood lighting when the sun goes down if you're not just turning on all the ambient lighting all of the time. Another example would be a floor lamp as task lighting for reading or as decorative lighting. Like I said, lighting can be really affordable. I usually can find some awesome lamp options at like Goodwill, the Marshall's clearance section. If necessary, go to Walmart and get just a basic white lampshade for like $5 to $10 if you need a new lampshade. And this is a great way to add task or decorative lighting for maybe 10 or 15 bucks. A final example, I added this accent light to our gallery wall in the kitchen. I love this because it pops off and charges USB, so again, no electrician required for this, and it was much cheaper than getting accent lighting installed here, but really gives the elevated look to sort of have this accent lighting over the piece of art. Okay, my next hack is to update hardware. I love this hack because it's super affordable and it is so easy. It requires like very minimal DIY skills. If you're somebody who's not a big DIYer, like updating hardware is something anybody can do. I feel like one of the most telling signs of less expensive furniture or fixtures is cheap looking hardware. And so by just swapping out the hardware for slightly more elevated hardware, you're not spending more on the furniture, but you're just upgrading the look with the hardware. I've done this on IKEA dressers. We have this one dresser in my son's room that I have these like rattan poles on right now. They used to have leather poles on them when they were in my daughter's nursery. I swapped out some knobs on like a basic pantry with these really fun quirky stone ones. And what I love about poles and knobs is there is no shortage of different kinds. You could go for just like basic and modern if you're just looking to update a piece that maybe has some outdated hardware, or you can get really fun with this. Search places like Etsy or even local thrift shops and you can find such fun, cool hardware to update spaces. And this isn't just for standalone furniture. You can easily swap out hardware on like bathroom vanities or your kitchen cabinets. Okay, let's talk about peel and stick. Because we have some areas in our home that we are going to be changing down the road, but we're not ready to change yet, I love peel and stick because it allows me to do something right now that gives me pretty good bang for my buck, but it is not necessarily as crazy time consuming or as expensive to do as if I was gonna get it like professionally and permanently installed. So peel and stick options are great for this. So let me give you a few examples, starting with peel and stick wallpaper. We had this little nook in our new house that I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with at first, and I decided that I wanted to make it into sort of like a mudroom hub for my kids, a place where they could keep all of their stuff. And so I wanted to do just like a really fun wallpaper in here because why not? I know that like fun, bold, colorful patterns is not for everyone. You can buy wallpaper that's more muted and like, you know, less bold if that's for you. But I love this because a good peel and stick wallpaper can be achieved in like an afternoon. I know it can feel sort of intimidating to do peel and stick wallpaper, but once you do it once or twice, I'm telling you, it's really not that hard. I have this stuff called Easy Hang, which is basically a spray that you spray on the wall as you're hanging your peel and stick, and it allows you to sort of pull your peel and stick up a few times to reposition it, which gives you a little peace of mind as you're installing it. I also just find that there's so many little projects that we can do in our home that we're really concerned about getting it perfect, and the truth is nobody is gonna notice most of the little flaws that we make when we are doing things in our home. I get a lot of people who will message me about like painting walls in my home, and they're just like, I'm not good at painting, I couldn't do that. And the truth is, you guys, I suck at painting. There are so many little mistakes in this wallpaper that I hung up. Here, let me show you a perfect example right here. This doesn't match. This doesn't match at all. It's completely unmatched. When I step way back and people look at this space, nobody's ever gonna know that that spot exists and that it doesn't match. So that's kind of what I mean about not worrying about everything being perfect, because most people will never notice. I say just go for it. Give it a try and don't stress about getting it totally perfect. Now, the one thing I will say with wallpapers is you can really vary on price here, right? You can go from super budget peel and stick wallpapers, we've all seen that, to the very high-end wallpapers. And I honestly have used pretty much every single variety of these over the last like 10 years. And I think if you're looking to redo a space and you want to get maybe 5 years out of it or so, and then you know you'll probably make it over again, one of the affordable to mid-range options usually works totally fine. I mean, just look at how much style and fun this wallpaper has brought to this space. Now, another peel and stick option I've recently dipped my toes into is peel and stick tile. Our kitchen is definitely on the makeover list for us to do in this house, but we're looking at least a few years out. So I wanted to make the space feel a little more finished and put together without a huge waste of time or money, and this peel and stick tile looks so good. It really gives the kitchen that finished, polished look, and the whole project only cost me 60 bucks. Last peel and stick item I want to talk about is peel and stick clings for your window. I have done just frosted clings in the past to add privacy to windows, but there are so many clings out there nowadays that like come in like actual designs. So our house that we live in now is an older Victorian, so I like bringing in some of those sort of like older style things. So I knew I wanted to add some type of frosting to our front bathroom window because it faces out like right to the main road. But instead of just going for a basic frosted, I found this really beautiful like fake lead glass looking cling. Window clings are honestly so stinking easy. You wash your window and get it a little bit wet, and then it just sticks to the window. And you can pull it off and reposition it 1,000 times if you want to until you get it right. And so not only does it provide privacy in this bathroom, but I love the way that it looks. It makes the window look like so high-end and so fancy. It brings character, it brings charm, and it was super affordable. All right, guys, that does it. That is some of my favorite tips and tricks that I've been using in the new home to get affordable looks on a budget without breaking the bank. If you like this kind of content, definitely make sure to stick around, to follow on Instagram, because I will be continuing to make over lots of spaces in the new house as we sort of put our own little stamp on it. And there'll definitely be some more videos like this coming up in the future as I continue to do that. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.